Christian parenting.
Marriage is the foundation of our families. When our marriage is strong, our families are strong. When our marriage is struggling, our families struggle too. We all know we should prioritize our marriages. However, in the busyness of life, it is so easy to push our marriages to the side and say we will focus on that later. If you're feeling the nudge to invest in your marriage, Christian Parenting's newest digital guide, Marriage Simplified, is the resource for you. Additionally, if you're struggling with difficult conversations about divorce, blended families, in-laws, or single parenting, we cover those topics head on too. Inside this guide, you will find our best and favorite podcasts, videos, and articles on all things marriage. You will also find conversation guides and discussion questions for your spouse and your kids. The best part is, since this guide is digital, you can download it straight to your phone or your computer and search through the resources whenever you need. Marriage is far from simple. I can attest to that, and no guide can truly simplify it. But we are so glad that you are taking the time to pore over these resources and strengthen the relationship and family that God has blessed you with. You can go to cpgive.org to download your copy for just $5. That's the best of the best resources from top Christian parenting contributors for just $5. Again, that's cpgive.org. Hey friends, welcome back to Pardon the Mess. I'm your host, Courtney DeVeo, and we need to talk about snakes. Y'all, my sister lives in Georgia. It's not like she lives in the woods. She lives in a neighborhood. And she has not one snake, but a family of snakes. I shared it the other day on Instagram. I may have to share it again for you. It is so disgusting. She was like, I'm like, sell the house, like immediately sell the house. So she has this snake handler that has to take them because the state of Georgia, you can't kill this particular kind. They've set up cameras and they just keep coming. I mean, I literally would die. I don't think I could handle it. But in other random news, it's the end of the school year. Some of you have a couple more weeks, but we are done. And when this episode comes out, we're on a big family trip together. But I just have loved being with you virtually. I think we all feel like a big family here at Pardon the Mess, and it's been such a fun year. Moving past this school year, we are doing a series called Empty Nester Wisdom. I did it a couple years ago, and you guys loved it. And so starting next week, every week for the June and July is going to be a different empty nester. And I just love mentors. I love moms ahead of me. It's been a part of the way I have grown and sought advice over the years. And so I wanted to do the same for you. So this isn't just for those that are becoming empty nesters, which you're going to love and you're going to cry. I think I cry in every episode. So sorry about that. If you want to see the ugly cry, you can go on over to YouTube and see me lose it. But it's also for those of you that have little kids still in the home. I love learning from people ahead of me. So they can save you from mistakes. They can give you wisdom that you didn't know. They can settle your heart on things you may be worried about. So get excited about that. But today's episode is so practical. I know for me as a parent, when I had listened to sermons or listened to MOPS things or listened to podcasts or read books, I'm like, that all sounds lovely. What do I do tomorrow? Like, give me something I can do tomorrow. So I wanted to get super practical with my dear friend, Dana Sheheane. She is in ministry at Mount Brook Community Church. She came on in December and we talked all about practical things then, products. We also talked about what's going on in her life. She's got a husband that has been chronically sick for years and years. He's actually in a hospital in another state right now and getting treatment there. And so I would love for you guys to pray for Chris's healing. But you'll remember her, and also link back to the first product we did. It was super fun. So I just thought it would be great to get on like my real life friend. She lives in Birmingham. Our family's a friend, and just chat through what are some parenting one-liners that we have used kind of the best of. What are some things we go to over the years? And we also wanted you to have those because we kind of rapid fire go through some of those. So also add to this list. I'm going to share about this episode on Instagram, and I would love for you to add your own one-liners, share with our community what things are working in your house. So go on over to the show notes. You can get the one-liners there, and I pray that you'll just have a lighthearted end of the year episode and have something you can use tomorrow and enjoy Dana's giggle. It's one of my favorite things ever. So here's my friend, Dana Sheheane. Dana Sheheane, how are are you?
Hey, Court. I'm so good. How are you?
Welcome back. Little did you know you'd be a regular guest on Part of the Mess, my friend.
I mean, maybe we have fun and we like it. Not sure if your guests do, but hey, I'm so glad to be back. It's so fun to talk with you.
Because this is like what we don't get on the phone, but this is what we would text about. And sometimes Ella's like, I want to read your text. I'm like, hold on, let me screen it.
Well, Claire will grab mine because she likes to play my phone to play music. And I'm always like, she's like, what are you talking about with your friends that you don't want me to see?
Yeah, a lot.
I mean,
actually.
A lot. Tons.
Guess what I did yesterday? There's so many things to tell you, but so we were talking about AirPods. We're just like so grandmother. We're like, what? Is there a button here? But I had mine were on noise canceling. So literally I couldn't hear anything. And I'm talking to my mom and she said something like, will we ever move back that way? Or so I said, I don't know. It depends on if Larson gets into Auburn, but she totally will because she has better grades than Ella. And as I say that, I turn around and Ella DeFeo is staring at me with these big eyes like, mother, seriously? Which I'm not wrong.
Well,
like her grades are better and you got in, so surely Larson will get in. These are just the facts. But I turned bright red. It's like a little kid that got caught hand in the cage.
And she was behind you as you were talking to
literally.
Mom.
And I'm like, what else did I say? Oh my God.
Because you're like, nobody else was around me. I had noise cancellation.
Right. And then I think that's the thing with the text is like, even if I was being funny to you, they would just bring it out and have some more ammo in their counseling appointments to be like, my mom texted Dana Sheheane this thing about me, right?
Claire totally does. And I'll say like, delete this, Robin. It's usually my sister. Sometimes it's definitely to you. But I'm like, delete this. I'll probably get in trouble for this. Or pictures. Don't send that. Oh, I won't. They go to school. Send. She can't listen to this, by the way.
This is coming out. Speaking of Robin, this is coming out. Let me think. This is coming out the 29th. Literally on this day, I'm on a plane to Paris. Hello. And your sister has given me a shopping list of what I need to get in the French pharmacies.
Yeah, she's all about it. And she brought us some stuff back. It's legit.
Okay. Text me which ones things you like.
The girl knows that something about some certain toner. I'll get it to you. Okay. I'll get her to send it to you.
Okay. And
she says it's
we
just
should probably
unreal.
remind you all that I get free flights. I feel like such an idiot when I'm like, I headed to Paris. But we do get.
Larson was talking about trips, and I'm like, because she can go. She can go for free. I keep having to tell Claire like that. Okay, they can go. We can't.
This is
Sorry.
not normal. This is not normal. But speaking of free flights, Larson and Claire, as y'all know, if you hadn't listened to our episode before, we're friends from Lighthouse. God connected us, and Claire and Larson have become friends. But they're in Birmingham. We're in Texas. Yeah. So they've been begging. We had Claire here last year, and then Larson's like, please let me go to Birmingham. So she took her first flight by herself in April and came to see you. And she had a blast. Thank you for having her.
She did an amazing job. She wasn't even, of course, Birmingham's like a tenth or less of the size of Dallas. And I'm like, there's 2 escalators you can come down, 50-50 shot. If you don't see me, I'm at the other one. Guess who calls me and says, I don't see you. I'm like, darn it. So I go to the other one. We did find each other and she did a fantastic job. But I love your Larson. And it was so fun having her. So thanks for sending her.
And I think I told you this in a text later. I'm like, I didn't realize she's been so gracious this whole season. I feel like for 2 years, all we talked about is Ella. And she's like, hello, I'm over here just.
Larson's here too.
So it was good for her to have something and have you dote on her. And we don't bake in our house. So a couple times y'all sent stuff of like baking. I'm like, what are they doing? They're baking.
Hold on. Let me backtrack. Neither do I. Wells does.
Okay.
And then Claire really needed the practice. So I was like, great. If baking is what y'all want to do, that is fantastic. But amazing. I think it was a new thing for Claire too, So there's that. There's that. It was like, what's something I would love to do, but I don't do? I'm going to do it when Larson's here. So they did, and they did it twice. It was amazing. I'm like, do you know how to use those measuring cups? Great. Glad you do now.
Adorable. I love their friendship. And we talked about this last time, but some friendships you like make happen as parents. You're like, oh, you will be friends with them, but they have to really connect. And we had said, because Ella has a friend, Mallory, and Emma Kate, really, that are far away. And when stuff's going on at school and there's drama, they can kind of count on each other. And you and I had said like, gosh, this would be so good for Claire and Larson to have someone outside their town, outside their circle. And so we posed the idea. And then it actually happened. They like legitimately love each other, which is so fun.
And they're so similar in the ways they need to be. And they're different in the ways they need to be. Yeah. There's like no competitive, jealous. I don't know. And even all her friends and her friends' moms were like, oh, is y'all's precious Dallas friend coming? Everyone knows because Claire talks about her. And they're like, I wish my daughter had that. And I'm like, you know what? Cultivate that. Whether it's a church friend, whether it's a friend you've met somewhere else, like I told you this like 3 times in text. It's the best version of Claire because she can relax, totally be herself.
Yeah.
I don't know. She just was. Even Wells said it. So thanks for, that's the sweetest little friendship that we couldn't have even forced. It just happened.
I love it. I love it. Okay. You're going to die. She did not tell you, but she's like, Mom, I got a little car sick.
I mean, I'm not surprised. I drive a little.
She's like, I don't get car sick. I was like, well, did you tell Dana? And she's like, I think it's because they have so many hills in Birmingham. I'm like, that is actually true because Texas is like one big flat highway.
She did not tell me.
You could have said, hey, can you pull over for some Dramamine?
Or can you tone it down? Can you maybe drive slower? Maybe I was whipping around on 2 wheels because that's
like,
what I do.
Fine. She's just never been car sick. So it was like a new feeling to her. And she said, I was fine once we got somewhere and got some, maybe she.
You know what she did say? And I should have picked up on it. She's like, gosh, I would be so confused driving around here, Claire. There's so many hills and turns. I should have picked up on that cue. I was like, yes, there are.
That's correct. So yeah. Tell me what's going on this summer at your church and your family. Tell us what's going on with the old MBCC, Mountain Brook Community Church that I love.
I always say it's like tag you're in. It's when the parents like tag us and we're up, right?
Yeah.
Like as a children's ministry, it's go time. Yeah. So it's awesome. We've kind of planned it this way. We start with VBS, which I started planning, back in November. So VBS is the very first thing after Memorial Day. And then we have all these little different grade level type things. And then we have a mission trip that we go on as a family with Lighthouse, as you know.
Yes.
And we try to plug that with our kids too, because there's nothing better for your family than to serve together. And then we end the summer with Pond Cove. And I know that's huge in Texas, right? Okay. I mean, I know it's different places, but they come and do camp in the city. So they bring camp to us and they do a double camp. So we have like 70 camp counselors that we get to love on.
Wow.
And we get to love on the kids, and 380 get to come, and it filled in 1 minute. And our wait list is over 100.
What is the age range that goes through that?
It is completed kindergarten through completed 5th grade, and it's 9 to 4. And so it's great for working parents, but it's also just the way these kids pour into them. You see them individually all over our church campus sharing the gospel, which we wish I could do all the time, but all 380 will get a 10-minute conversation with those counselors at some point of the week.
Amazing.
So we love that we start with VBS and we end with Pine Cove, and then we head into the year. So it's kind of like big bangs at the beginning and end.
Pine Cove's
So it's awesome.
Great camp. Great camp. All right, let's get into some parenting one-liners. Some of these are helpful. Some of these you may not find helpful. But the first one that came to mind, and this is so my best friend growing up, her dad would just scream this all the time. Like we could just be like giggling. And he's like, knock it off. Knock it off. It was like I grew up, like we would run through the house. We would mess up the carpet, whatever. She had a room where they would like the mom would vacuum it, but we couldn't go in there. And we would run through it and we'd get knock it off. So that one cracked me up. But all right, here's a few of my faves. And then I want you to share any of yours. But ones that really stuck is try that again. I used that. My kids will probably roll their eyes. Did you use try that again?
Do you know what? Try that again. Or for me, it was more the attitudey mouth. So I just said tone. Like that's all it was. Just
tone.
All you
have to say is tone.
Tone. Okay. But try again when they were little. And then as they got older, tone. Like I'm not even taking
so when they were little, I would say, if they would say it with an attitude or they would say something rude, I would say, hey, can you try that again? And they would correct themselves. Or I would say, try that again with a question. Because one of my pet peeves is they would demand, Mom, get me. And I'm like, whoa, try that again with a question.
Try that again.
Mom, may I please have whatever? Just questions land so much better than demands. And then try that as they get older, I would say, try that again with respect. And so they knew, like,
I love that.
So it's like, hey, the way you just asked that, because a lot of times you'll say it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And it's just that tone is exactly it.
But my favorite is when I'd be like, tone. Okay, well.
I don't know where this one came from, but it's definitely a Danny Goki song. But leave it better than you found it. And we say that all the time. As far as like places, if we move to Orlando, we're leaving Orlando better than we found it. But like restaurants,
I love that.
It makes me crazy. And I'm like, guys, you cannot leave a bigger mess for these people to clean up. Like, so we do it all the time. We've said it since they were little. And I think it's a good practice one to be like, hey, no, we didn't put that syrup on the table, or we didn't leave all those sauces, but let's leave this table better than we found it, or the classroom or whatever. It's been a good one.
We try to even say that in kids ministry because I'm like, y'all do not act entitled. If you don't pick it up, whose job is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you don't, yes, leave it better than you found it. I love that.
And it's so quick. I think it becomes when they're little, they roll their eyes and it becomes so quick. Like all of a sudden I notice Ron, like, scooching a chair or something. And I'm like, good. Like that just has to take little bit of I don't know, something off the people that come behind us. But okay, this is a funny one. So my grandmother, who Gay and my mom are friends. So my mom's mom that grew up in Birmingham, she would always say, have you ever seen a dream walking? Every time one of us would enter the room, have you ever seen a dream walking? And like just in reaction.
I have never heard that.
Yes. So literally every time the girls come down the stairs, they could be coming down for school and Ron belts out. Have you ever seen a dream walking? And he'll sing it. And I thought about it the other day, I heard him going crazy about them coming down. I was like, that is so huge. Like to have this huge reaction. And they could literally, he's like, your hair. And she's like, I just woke up. He's like, it looks amazing. So
but that means so much because they want to hear that.
Right.
I mean, what teenage girl doesn't want to hear that?
Have you ever seen a dream walking? Isn't that cute?
Might have to make that like a little grandmother term. If I said it now, Claire'd be like, what?
Take it.
Who'd you just talk to?
That's right. All right. Pack your patience. This is a Grammy one. And this was in my first book, but pack your patience. Going into a restaurant, pack your patience. Going to the airport, court, pack your patience.
In the 100-degree heat in the summer, pack your patience.
Yeah. Right. It's like, you got to have it. Yeah.
I love that one. Actually, I think my grandmother said that one too. I'm trying to think of who said it. I think it was my grandmother. That's a good one.
Interject any of your favorites anytime that y'all had. Did you have any that you say all the time? Give me a couple.
Okay. Well, mine are sassy. Yours are so like good and sweet.
No.
Like,
I have more. I have sassy.
Okay. Because I'm like, life's so hard when they like can't empty the dishwasher. Life is so hard. Like we really have hard things, right? Like we really have hard things. This one's not one of them.
I love that.
Emptying the dishwasher for 5 to 10 minutes. And I'm just, life is so hard.
I love that.
And they give me, because I'm like, we really do have hard stuff. My friends.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But it's sassy. So maybe I need to work on.
I got a sassy one when both of them say like very blonde, dumb things. We go, oh, you're so pretty.
I'm glad you're pretty. I think I said it that way. I'm glad. Glad you're cute.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, more sassy. Bring it to us.
Okay, ready? Well, y'all ever just said like, kitchen's closed? Like it's closed. I know there's no wall here, but it's closed. Like, can you people just exit this area?
I like kitchens.
And it's not even like they're wanting to eat 24/7. Just things keep piling and it becomes the catch-all. And it makes me crazy because it's the center of our house.
Kitchen's closed. I like
Kitchen's closed. And I'm like, you have a room, we have the den, we have all these areas. Yeah. Like, why do it keep piling in my kitchen?
It's too much.
I don't know.
It's too much.
But kitchen's closed is the big one. I
like it.
You know, and didn't we all say, here's another one I wrote down, Court. Did you say this when they were little or because I said so? Like, do you just get why? And sometimes because I'm your parent. And sometimes you do need a reason. And sometimes it's just because I said or an adult said and you just do it.
Well, and I think that is a thing I learned when I was like my girls were little. I would try to rationalize with a 3-year-old and explain to her what the Bible said to be kind.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And this one lady was like, they're not young enough. Like you can try, but they are not listening. So it's like, hey, because I'm the parent, I told you so. And I get that statement and it's good. I mean, I think as they age, then you're like, hey, there's a reason. There's a why behind that. But we don't need to be negotiating why you need to take your laundry up. And I think that's why people like, there's a gentle parenting phase that's going through. I'm like, good luck with gentle parenting. Like I agree that there's an extreme of like too harsh, but too gentle. It's like, they need to know that you mean business when you're like, don't walk out in the road and you can't hit your sister. Like we are your parent.
It just is what it is. Yeah. And you just listen and do it. That's so funny that you said that. As I was like researching fun one-liners and thinking of things I've said before, you know what's the first thing that popped up? What? One-liners for gentle parenting. And I'm like, no. Where are we? I promise I wasn't going to tell you that because I was like, I can't even make a joke about that. But I'm going to kind of because I know there's a time and space and maybe we were too far on the other spectrum at one point. But I'm like, come on, we just have to say yes. And I see it sometimes when kids they just don't want to listen and do what we ask because
I do think it's a reaction to probably a generation or two that was like, parenting out of fear, like I will threaten you and you'll just obey because you're scared of me. And I get that, but I think the extreme on either side is a really dangerous thing because then you get like a 9 or a 10-year-old that has never had to obey, and you're like, "Crap, we should have had." And you probably see them all the time in your ministry. Is like, wish someone would have told them to respect authority. That would be amazing.
It would be amazing if someone had said, "Just no, you just can't," and we're going to move on because the pendulum has just swung. And I do agree. I think that hard coaching mentality or like fear mongering or like just beating something into someone, but we've kind of swung this way. So it's like,
Well, and this one's
like,
kind
of, it's just,
this one's kind of rude, but we said it all the time is you get what you get and you don't throw a fit.
We say it here. You don't pitch a fit. It's what we say.
Yeah,
Get what you get.
it's
You don't
like,
pitch a fit.
sorry, you got the blue crayon, she got the red. It's like, and
Yeah.
one of the things, and this one wasn't on my list, but I would say to the girls too, if you have a better attitude or reaction to the no, the yeses will come more often. Because if you throw a
I
fit
like that.
every time there's a no, I'm like, hey, secret to you. If you have a good attitude, the next time I'm probably going to say yes to ice cream. But those fits on every no is like a red flag.
Makes you want to be like, how much longer are we going to have to say no till you turn it around? Yeah,
Right.
you're going to get more yeses.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said,
for
you can be
sure.
disappointed, but just say, okay, mommy. And I can tell on your face you're disappointed. That's okay. But just fighting back and saying why you deserve it is not going to get you anywhere at all. Okay. Any others on your list before I keep going?
And all these things we're saying, I'm like, gosh, I say that in kids ministry too. I hope their moms are okay with, not the sassy, not the mean sassy, but like the get what you get, don't what you fit. All these things I did teach in kindergarten and do it here. And they need to hear that, right?
They do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Okay. Just like, how many times do we try to solve all their problems or sibling problems or friend problems? Come here, let me help you write that text. And I'm at the point now where the last year I'm like, figure it out. You're going to have to go to college and figure these things out with roommates, figure these things out with friends. And I really don't mean it ugly. I'm really like, if I guide you through all this for the rest of your days, you're never going to figure it out on your own. So figure it out has become a big one-liner for me lately.
I like figure it out. My mom said she always wanted her mom's approval and involvement on everything.
Yeah.
Ella's the same way with me. And so mom said she finally started saying in high school, what do you think you should do? What do you think you should do? And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to like practice that one. Maybe this summer as she leaves for college.
Just recently. I mean, I'm telling you, just recently, because I'm like, I love getting in there and helping. And that's why they're under our roof. But then at some point, they're going to have to do this on their own. So yeah, maybe I need to turn figure it out to what do you think you should do? But turn it into a question. You know?
Have you guys heard of the online learning program called IXL? My kids were actually required to do IXL as a part of their school, and they would roll their eyes when it was time. But I think they would tell you years later, and I would tell you that it really worked and it helped them so much. They received the help they needed in subjects where they were struggling. And I know other parents at our school that used it for their kids that are ahead and they weren't getting challenged enough in the classroom. IXL Learning is an online learning program that enriches your homeschool curriculum and your child's classroom learning. It offers practice in math, English, language arts, science, and social studies while adapting it to each child. It meets them where they are. Plus, IXL encourages students to be curious and empowers them to choose how to learn. And the best part is IXL is easy for parents. Don't we need that? One site gets you all you need, and IXL customizes learning for each child in your family and their specific needs. IXL is organized by grade, subject, topic, and subtopic, and it makes it simple to find activities for the exact skills that you are covering. It also offers instant feedback and explanations of the topics as the kids use the program, which is super helpful. So you can feel confident as a parent that your kids will gain an understanding of the skills they are learning. Make an impact today on your child's learning. Get IXL now. And Pardon the Mess listeners can get an exclusive 20% off an IXL membership when they sign up today at IXL.com/today. Visit IXL.com/today to get the most effective learning program out there at the best price. You probably know Avocado Green Mattress for their certified organic mattresses. I've been talking about that lately, but did you know they also make unbelievably breathable natural bedding? From soft organic cotton sheets to light as air silk and lofty down duvets, their bedding is designed to naturally regulate your temperature and keep you cool, comfy, and sleeping soundly all night long. So listen up, hot sleepers, this one's for you. This bedding is perfect for hot sleepers in warmer months. Hello, Texas summer. Avocado sheets and duvet inserts are naturally breathable and they help regulate your temperature so you can sleep cool, dry, and comfortable all night long. And just like those mattresses, avocado bedding is crafted from renewable, biodegradable materials with the highest social and environmental standards. So it's better for you and better for the planet. And beyond that sustainability, this bedding is designed to deliver luxurious comfort that will have you looking forward to crawling into your bed every night. Head on over to avocadomattress.com to save 10% on all bedding and 50% on clearance bedding. Avocado, dream of better. All right, I'm going to fire through some. And actually, guys, on the show notes, I'm going to put some of these. And none of these are like tried and true. These are just ones that have helped me. We also say, it'd be funny to ask kids if they're like, we've never heard that.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
I told him I
really?
love you because you're mine. And I think we got to keep reminding him that because it's like, I love you because you emptied the dishwasher or because of what you did or, your good grades, but I love you because you're mine, like end of story. So
I
that
love
one we
that.
say, it's okay not to be okay. This is a good one for drivers. Head on a swivel. Head on a swivel. This is Ron. Head on a swivel. Like just looking around. But it's also such a good one for life. It's like, P.S. You are not the only one in this, restaurant.
Be
in
aware.
This class. Head on a swivel. Keep looking around. And it really is helpful when they drive because it's like you get up to a light and most people are still running almost red lights. So it's like looking right and left all the time. Because it's less about your skills as a driver and it's more like, hey, you got to be looking for the idiots left and right. So head on a swivel. Ron DeFeo.
I love that one. We've said that one too. I don't know that I've said it a ton, but I've definitely said it. And you're right. It's not just in the car, different places. It's literally like life. The world doesn't just revolve around you.
It's like, hey, you're on a train at an airport and there's two people with canes and you're just sitting there at 15, eating your Sour Patch Kids. Get up. It's like head on a swivel. It's offer to that lady, hey, would you like my seat? I was like, there's just things like that you're like awareness right. Of the world around you is a good thing.
And that kind of goes back to what I was saying, like when I was just talking about how life's so hard. Okay. One of the things I also say, and I think I mentioned this, but it's like, who's supposed to do that? Like, if you don't do that, who's supposed to do that? So that's actually a one-liner and a question I ask a lot too. Like the dishes go straight in the sink instead of rinse them out and put in the dishwasher. Well, who do you think is supposed to do that?
That's right.
And then they'll be like, I guess you. Okay, well, if I did that for every single person all day, guess who's living in the kitchen? So like, it doesn't just go for that. It goes for the room. Okay, you cleaned up, but your shoes are still in the middle of so who do you expect to move those?
I mean, that.
Ask it back.
Who's supposed to do that?
Yeah.
And y'all, it feels mean, but it's like we're raising humans like that. I said the other day to a friend, I'm like, I wish I could write a book called Don't Be a Jerk. Like, that's it. Like, love Jesus for sure, but just don't be a jerk in society. It's like, even the other day, it was like one thing happened after another. There was like all this and we get a lot of airline complaints because of Ron.
Right.
And I'm like, guys, just don't be rude. Like, it's just don't be entitled and just like if you like, even like carts in the parking lot. Like, if you,
that's like my pet peeve.
I'm like, you just rolled it up on this curb. It's like, help other people out. Like, so I think it's like, yes, is this biblical? We can bring out verses for every one of them, but it's also just decent human stuff. That's like, we're raising little kids that are like aware of the world around them. And I think our jobs are huge for that. And I don't think we put enough value to that. It's like, you're not just training them to just be beautiful and successful and smart. You're treating them to be like great additions to society, right?
Yes. And like outward focused. We are inward focused all the time. So how do we get outward focused and see other people? And like even going through what we're going through with Chris right now, it'd be really easy for us to just allow everybody to serve us. But you know what I love doing? Serving other people in the midst of it, because there's a lot of other people going through hard too. Like, look out. And I tell the kids almost every day, like, who's the friend that you saw today that was lonely or that wasn't doing? And they're like, Mom, they start to roll their eyes. But I'm like, truly, look out. There is somebody else at school dealing with something like you or harder.
Good. So
they're
good.
just it.
Y'all are so good. Okay, this one is horrible, but I'll get to
good. Give me a horrible one.
Okay, so it's not horrible. I think I got it from Courtney, an author, but she was saying you are more than a body, which I think is a really important thing to say to girls. Like, you are more than a body. So Ron is like hitting on me 24 hours a day, and I was like, I'm more than a body. And y'all, you know what he came back with and shut me up? I'm more than a checkbook, is what he said. Dana Sheheane. And I was like,
that was like a mic drop.
Holy clap back. And he's not wrong. But
and I'm more than a checkbook.
I was like, wow. But I like that. Like, I like saying to the girls, like, because I think they can think their only value in the world is what they look like and the body that they provide. Pretty. Yes. And so I think you're more than a body is good. All right, I'm going to fire through these.
Okay,
this is biblical. Many hands make work light. It's the verse. But every time they're all in the kitchen together, I'm like, look how fast we did that. Many hands make work light.
I've said it here. Love it. Love that one.
Be the friend you want to find when they're sad about friends. That's untreasured. Is like, if you want this kind of friend, you have to be that friend. Be the friend you want to find. This is Elisa Turkhurst. Is it a mistake or a pattern? I've said that 50,000 times this year.
Gosh.
So did someone mess up and we offer grace, or is this a pattern and a person that continues to hurt and hurt and hurt? Or
I'm going to write that one down.
I'm totally going to write that one down. You're always all over about forgetting homework. Well, forgetting it 1 or 2 times is a mistake. Forgetting it every day for your entire X year is a pattern.
It's a pattern.
What are we going to do about that? Isn't that game changing?
That is a huge game changer.
Amazing.
to kind of allow them to see relationships and friendships in that way. Like, is this 100% friend, or is this a pattern of a friend that continues to go behind my back, or a relationship type thing, or whatever it is? I mean,
Love it. All right. What's your piece of the pie? We say that all the time. That basically just means own your piece of the conflict. What's your piece of the pie? Dress up your mess up. For those perfectionists, you have to make them redo their art, or dress up, like keep the same piece of art and dress up and turn it into something else. So if it was going to be a tree, now it's a flower, or whatever the thing is.
Please call Sheheane and give him that quote.
Yeah. Larson needed this all the days of her life. Dress up actually, her art teacher said she really wants to start over and is so mean to herself if she makes one mistake. And that is still true of my sweet Lars. So dress up your mess up all the time.
I love that. Okay, I love that one.
Only one person is perfect. Jesus. Ron says early is on time. Dude cannot stand people that are late. And he is like,
I say that.
Early is on time. So, and I will tell y'all this, I used to be an on-time person, and I was stressed all the time. I would like have heart palpitations getting to work because I would cut it so close. And now that I've married Ron DeFeo, we're 20 minutes, 15 minutes early everywhere. And I am so cool. Like, we're at the airport a little early, like hours, but there's less stress.
Oh, yeah.
There's
I think I stressed Larson out with that, by the way, breaking the convo. So I'm like, hey, we're leaving church. I'm going to run by and get you some lunch and make sure at the airport. And we'll be like, what time do you board again? She's like, 12:30. I was like, oh, yeah, we'll be there by like 11:15. She's like, I kind of heard the gasp. And I was like, I need you to know I'm early everywhere. The Birmingham airport is snails on Sundays.
Yeah.
There's nobody. This is not Dallas.
And I complain about it, but I have to give them credit to say, like, there is less stress, and it gives you room to react, especially for those drivers going like, hey, if you made the wrong turn, you're not freaking out because you have time to turn around or whatever.
And do we want our kids when they're driving, both yours are now, I'm about to have two, like, do we want them flying everywhere and following our example if we're not just getting right on time? No, you want them to take their time.
Well, and it's respectful of other people. It's like when we're late, it's like somebody has prepared something for us and we're just it baffles me. I always point it out, we were at a Broadway show the other day, and the number of people that came in late, I'm like, you're coming in and disrupting the whole thing 10 minutes after Broadway play has started, and you're moving through the thing. It's like just that awareness of like, there's other people here. Other people try to get here on time.
I think that's my biggest part. And my dad was always this way. And so I was always early. Like, he's like way early for everything. Yeah. Way. I mean, to the point where you're like, hey, you're going to be sitting in the car for an hour.
Perfect. He could be a DeFeo. Welcome.
Welcome. Okay. Well, but it did teach me, it's so disrespectful, really, if you're going to be late to everything or pick somebody up. My kids get so stressed if their car pulls late for school. And it's because I'm always going to make sure they're there 10 minutes before the bell or 15 minutes or whatever. It is stressful. And it gives you more of a peace to just be settled. So go Ron DeFeo.
Yes. All right. Now we're moving into other ones. I have no idea who said this, but I wrote them down. Okay. I heard this the other day on a podcast, and I was like, this is so good. Okay. What else might be true? So Claire comes home. So-and-so left me out. Let's use Wells. Happened, and they immediately jump to the worst possible story. That's like, these people hate me. And it's like, what else might be true? So it was like, maybe Claire came in stinky one day, and it's like, what else might be true? Well, her dad's in the hospital, and she's not mad at you. She's having a hard day. So it's kind of that whole assume the best about the situation. And I just thought that phrase alone, what else might be true? Like, and that goes to the podcaster said, I'm trying to think who was saying it. It's like if Ella's going to college and it's like, I'm never going to get in a sorority. It's going to be awful. It's like, what else might be true? You actually might find the place you're supposed to be and find the best friends of your life. Like, we always just go straight to the worst possible story, right?
Always. But you know why? Because that's the muscle we've worked. Like, I truly believe it is to work that positive gene. It's like a muscle, and you got to practice it.
Yeah.
Like, every night I try to get my kids, what are 3 things you're thankful for? What are 3 good things that happen? Because they go to the worst case scenario, the worst possible anything. And to bank off what you said with, they come home with everybody hates me, that they did blah, 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 whatever. I often will say hurt people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's like another one liner I use all the time. Sure. And the term with this is, you're hurting. You know that you don't have the best of days. Somebody else, in order for them to act like that, something's hurting in their life.
Absolutely.
So hurt people. And it doesn't mean you're not allowed to get hurt by it, but there's grace in it too, right?
Just side note. Some of us have some Eeyores in the family.
We won't name names.
And so, like, I am Pollyanna. Like, it's going to be a great day. Everything. You and I are like, we're going to change the world. Then there's people like maybe Ron DeFeo that are like, everyone sucks. The world is stupid. And so somehow we all have to live together. Like he literally does not like people. And I'm like, I would let a homeless person come in right now for lunch. And so like, fine. And that's the true of our kids too. So I would say our kids are naturally insecure, going to think the worst, but then there's ones that are double negative because that's their bent. Right?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so we won't name names, but that can be really challenging. I just want to throw that out there. Okay, I'm going to fire through some more. This one, I've been having a conversation with a certain human in my life. Your lack of planning is not my emergency, or your lack of planning becomes my emergency. So it's like, because you waited till the night before, this is now my emergency, or it's not my emergency. You know what I mean? So I'm like trying to show them, it's like, I want to get things done a week ahead because I'm OCD and I like to be prepared. But it's like your lack of planning affects me, and that makes me hot.
I love that because they need to learn that going into adulthood.
Yes.
Got to learn that. I can't get your 4-year plan for high school that's going to take me 4 hours at 10 o'clock at night and it's due in the morning for English. Well, your other sibling gave it to me 4 days ago. And so I had more time. So you're just my extra and late.
Which
because I'm not.
Takes us letting them fall versus like I save her I save them. Let's go with them.
Yeah.
I save them every time. And they're like, well, but traditionally you handle my emergencies pretty great.
Right. And I do because I'm like, I don't want them stressing about getting this, that, and the other. But at some point I did the other night say it's just going to have to be a day late. I'm tired and I don't have the space for this tonight. Maybe I'm getting better, Courtney. Maybe.
Yes, we are.
Maybe not.
Assume the best. What else might be true? You're growing in this area. Yes, you are.
Maybe.
Okay, firing through. A friend said a need doesn't constitute a call. I'm like, all right. I like that. Like, don't call me for everything. Asked and answered. Like you already asked that. It was already answered. We're not going back there. This is a Chick-fil-A one, which I love. When I learned to work at the Chick-fil-A restaurant, they said, time to lean, time to clean. It's like, you have time to lay around here. What else can we do? So they love when I throw that one out. It's like, time to lean.
I land at your house.
No, not good. Not good. I'm just saying it's true. It's like, you got time to lay around. There's things to clean. Okay.
How about no means no? How about that one?
Yes,
no means no.
I had that one on here, especially for stop means stop and no means no. Yes, ma'am.
Like there's nothing more to say. No means no.
Especially even with wrestling, kids hitting each other, girls and boundaries. It's like no means no. Like, and I think we got to practice that. Especially like I don't have boys, but wrestling is like a huge thing with my nephews. And my brother has taught even his daughters to wrestle, but he's like, you get to say when this stops. Like, no, like, I don't want you to do this anymore, which is such a good, it's like we're playing and all of a sudden we're not playing and then we're scared. Right. And so I think that's a great one.
And that needs to follow them all the way up.
Heck yes. We don't comment on other people's bodies. These are ones I saw online. I
saw that one too.
We keep surprises, not secrets. It's a good one, right?
Yeah, that's a really good
like
one.
We're surprising dad for his birthday, or, secrets are different than surprises. I love that.
I do too.
You could be mad without being mean. Amen to that.
Oh,
do you need help or do you need me to listen? I wish I had learned this one about 10 years ago.
Okay, of all the ones you said, that's my biggest failure of these.
Same.
My mouth, Court, it goes before my brain.
But you also care about them, so they share where they're struggling. And you're like, here's the 3-step plan we're about to do to fix this.
Here it is. And I promise I know, and I've been there. And it's like in the black and white times, that's what one of my kids says back to me. In the black and white times when you did this, and that's what I get back. And I'm like, I know, just because I didn't have phones and social media, drama was still there in a different way. And I just want to fix it, and I need to just listen.
I know.
I'm trying to get better.
Well,
I'm trying,
I think what we see is that they'll come to us less if we're always fixing it. Like they do just want us to listen. And
they do.
Last night, this is just true confession. I needed an ice cream cone. And so I was like, Lars, so I made it her idea. And I was like, hey, do you want me to go get you? Can we go get dessert? And she's like, yeah, fine. I'll grab my blanket. And then she's like, wait, do you want me to drive? I'm like, I do. So not only did I want to go get ice cream, I wanted to be shuttled.
I wanted her to drive.
I wanted to chauffeur. So she drove me to get ice cream. But I will tell you, in that 10 minutes, where you're not looking at each other, she shared so much about her day that I was like, okay, I just got to get better about just tell me what's going on in friend group, or tell me what's going on with your grades. Who's your favorite teacher? Yes. Like it just gave us a few minutes of just me and her, and I got ice cream out of it. So there's that.
It's so needed. I do that too. You want dessert? It's because I want it. But you know what I love about that, Court? And Sissy Davis said this all the time. Like the looking forward, you're not directly looking at each other's eyes. It's safer for them to tell you stuff. So the car ride, to me, is so sacred. And I had a mom mentor me years ago that was like, while you have them in a car, you're going to get the best conversations. Don't want to be on their phone. So Just do all the scripture when they're little. Do all the big combos when they're older. So
Yeah,
do
you're like,
those
hey,
dessert
ride
runs.
with me from Texas to Birmingham. Let's chat.
Perfect.
Let's chat.
Perfect. Let's
All
chat.
right, last few. Read the Room. I think this is brilliant. My friends,
Read the Room.
similar to Head on a Swivel, my friend said she is trying to teach her boys to read the room. It's like read where someone is personality. Read if the waitress is overloaded. Read the room. I think is a great way just to say, pick up on what's going on before you go in thinking it's all about you. Isn't that huge?
Huge. And I do think boys need that more than girls. I don't know why. I mean, I think girls we're like all over. We got our hands in everything. I think they kind of
probably
about
read
one
too
track.
much of the room. We're like,
we
that
do
girl
read too
crying
much
over in that booth. I'm stressed out about it. We need to go get involved.
We need to fix that. We need to tell our 3-step plan.
Readers are leaders. Note takers are world changers. And this is one that a cab driver told me on spring break. She said she knew 4 languages. And I was like, Americans, we are idiots.
We are dumb.
And she said, learn more, earn more. Okay. You
That's
learn more
brilliant.
and you earn more. She was like, think about the jobs I can get, because she spoke Dutch, Spanish, Pompanese, or whatever the language of Curacao and English. Learn more, earn more. Isn't that brilliant?
And I do agree. When I go to other countries, I think, what happened?
I know.
Where did we go wrong with this?
I know. And we're so entitled.
It's an ego thing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. People are like, and I'm learning this probably right now as I land in Paris, is like, people are so rude in Paris. It's like, no, Americans don't even try to speak the language or enter in their culture. And we assume that they need to
They just know English.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a bummer. I love that. Learn more, earn more. That's great. That's a good one.
We have a whole list. Any that we didn't get to on your list?
We kind of had a lot of the same ones. I mean, I wrote down a lot of the ones that you did.
Yay.
I said, did we say this one? You'll never regret being kind. Did we say that one?
I love that.
Okay. My mom, kill him with kindness was her
absolutely
one-liner that really made me roll my eyes to the back of my head. And now I say it all the time, but you will never regret being kind ever. Let's think back through we remember those people in high school, and people are going to remember, they're not going to remember how high your jump was in cheerleading.
That's right.
They're not going to remember what outfits you wore, but they are going to remember if you were nice to them. And so I tell my kids on the daily, you're not going to regret being kind. Even if they're ugly to you, please be kind. Just
I love it. And that is who y'all are. I love it. Love it. Hey, without pumping me up, talk about how you've enjoyed the prayer episodes. We just finished this week as this is coming out. So tell me it doesn't have to be about me, but like, what did the rhythm of prayer do for you and your circle?
No, it is totally going to have to be about you for a minute, because it is your thing. Okay. So if you do not know, if you're listening to this and somehow you don't listen to Mondays, you guys jump on. Every Monday, Court does somewhere between a 7 to 14 minute, and it is a morning of a different virtue, different character, different way to have Jesus in these kids' lives. And I'm saying that all wrong, so you're going to have to fix me.
No,
however, it is a way to pray over your children. And y'all, I know that you may not have time for a 50-minute, 1-hour podcast every day, but it is the way I start my week. And I send it to all my friends every week, because it just intentionally makes you pray for your children. Mm-hmm. And as Courtney is praying, I am praying. And y'all, it just slows you down. And I do it on my way to work every Monday. It is my thing. I love it. And I actually talked to Robin, my sister, this morning, Courtney, and said, I just am so thankful Courtney's doing this. Please tell me you're still listening too. And she said, oh, absolutely. I do it every Monday. And I said, continue to share this, because I know we just get busy. We want to pray for our children. And it doesn't mean you don't stop and say quick ones, but these are like intentional ways to pray for your children. It has, I promise you, for 2 years of me doing this, it has led me so strategically to pray for them in different ways. And it's been a blessing and a gift, and you're funny and you're fun. And you don't do it in a way that's pretentious or makes people think you've got it all together. You say your own woes in the midst of it. Yeah. But it's just a way for us to focus on our kids. And Courtney, I love it. I love everything about it.
I'm excited. We're going to do it. Next year's going to be so fun. We're going to do it again, start the school year. But I do think for me is at praying and doing them, it's like, I would have never prayed all these things for my kids. This specifically, never. This specifically. No. And I shared a couple weeks ago, but that week that we prayed about sharing the good news, 2 instances happened. Larson shared about Jesus with her nail guy, invited him to our church. And then I got a whole Jesus conversation in an Uber. And the guy ended up messaging me and asking he was like, I walked away from religion my second month into my first deployment in Iraq. And he messaged me and asked for podcasts to listen to about Jesus. And so when I figured out the timing, I went back and was like, that was the week I was praying that we would have opportunities to share the good news. Isn't that cool? I'm like, look at him. He's answering prayers.
I love it. And he is answering prayers. It's amazing. I felt like that the week that you talked about serving. Getting kids, how important that is to get them serving. Anyways, I mean, there's just different things like that. The kids told me about things they did, and I was like, they didn't even know that I'd prayed that for them. So
cool.
It makes you just pray intentionally. We do pray for our kids. I pray for Wells and Claire, but it is so basic and generic. So I think this is a great way to, if you haven't started doing it, jump in next year. There's my plug. I love it.
You are awesome. You're a faithful friend. And I love it. It's another way we connect and kind of chat about them. But thanks for being here. This isn't your last time. It's about to be the Dana and Court show. Get ready.
Love it. Let's do it. I'm sure y'all love my laugh. My kids
they love
do.
it. They love it. This is what we need. Hey, I love you. Happy summer.
I love you.
I'm going to see
so
you at
much.
some point. Yeah. Hug your people. Thanks for being here.
Yes. Hug yours too. Love you. Bye.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of Pardon the Mess. As always, we've got more encouragement and resources over at christianparenting.org. And you can also stay connected with us on social media at Pardon the Mess. And if you like this episode, I'd love for you to do two things. Press follow on whatever podcast platform you love, and also be sure to leave a rating so other parents can find us. Remember, you're never alone in this beautiful mess of parenting.